How you going, guys? Welcome to the channel. You're here with Matt, and today we are going to be looking at and reviewing an indie game called Atomicrops. If you do like this video, guys, remember to hit that like button, and if you do want to see more of this content, hit that subscribe and the bell notification icon. Also, wait a sec. Hey Google, turn on lights. That's a bit better. And also, a quick shout out to our sponsors, LazrLights, for supplying us these awesome LED RGB lights. Over here we have the RGB IC smooth strip, up here we have the hexagonal light panels, and over here we have the glide bar lights. If you'd like to grab 10% off, guys, jump on down to the description box and hit the link. Otherwise, go onto the LazrLights website, jump into the checkout, and pop in GWMZ10 for 10% off. Okay, so let's jump on into Atomicrops. A little bit about this game. So Atomicrops was developed by Bird Bath Games and published by Raw Fury, released in 2020 in September, and is priced on Steam for $21.50 Australian or $14.99 US. Since its release, it has received very positive reviews, as by the Steam community's review board, and it is well liked by a lot of people. So, as far as the story and plot of Atomicrops goes, basically a nuclear bomb has hit the Earth, reducing everything into a post-apocalyptic, radioactively affected wasteland. Just as the bomb is being dropped, you are being shown around a farm that you have inherited from your late uncle by an old local, and you happen to find an old bomb shelter, and while you're down there having a bit of a squiz, that's exactly when the bomb goes off. So you happen to be safe down there, you are protected from the fallout, and when you come out, that's pretty much where the game starts. Now, they do have a cinematic for this, which, instead of trying to explain, I might as well just show you guys. So, here's the cinematics for the opening of Atomicrops. Cutscene.
Smell that country air. There's nothing like this in the city.
And now, it's all yours, just as it's stated in your uncle's will. Rest his soul.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth. Where my pigs at? Wow, a cow house, a corn bush, potato orchard, spooky hatch. Whoa, spooky hatch? Oh, you gotta come down here. It's like an old bunker.
I ain't getting down no hatch.
Oh, come on. What could be safer than a bomb shelter?
Safe from what? Nothing bad has ever happened around here.
Shit. Okay, so that is the opening cinematic. I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I thought the animation style, graphics, sounds, the humor, everything was good. It really hooks you in. From there, guys, that's pretty much where the game starts. You pretty much are thrown into farming, exploring, going back to town, checking out what the townsfolk and shops and everything have to do with everything. And basically, it's in a very cyclical nature. It repeats through and through. You go through days, seasons, years, and you basically are trying to see how far you can get in the game based off your currency, which is cashews, and also years spent in the game. Visually, Atomicrops takes on a funky pixel style with very vibrant, toxic, radioactive color scheming, but basically focusing heavily on greens and pinks. Now, if you've ever played a game called Jazz Jackrabbit, it's essentially got a very similar color vibe to that. Strong, vibrant purples and pinks and very strong, vibrant greens. Majority of the game is in 2D, however there are aspects of the game which are 2.5D. For example, the boss worm that you will come across at some point is basically, it has that vibe of coming out of the screen by having lots of layers involved in its animation and design. The tractors, which are a special effect or a special move or a summon or that kind of thing in the game, it's like a special skill, they also sometimes have 2.5D-esque kind of features in regarding their animation and how they appear in the game. Regarding the animation style of the characters and the monsters, as well as things moving around like bullets in the game, it's very smooth, fluent, and hyper-like in nature. So really, I don't know how to explain it really, guys, but it really gives the game a sense of intensity and fast-pacedness, especially when you get swarmed by monsters every direction. It really adds a intensity component to the bullet hell situations that you find yourself regularly in the game. So gameplay mechanics, guys. If you've played any games like Enter the Gungeon and Binding of Isaac, those types of running around with one joystick or the WASD on the keyboard, and with the other joystick or mouse, you're aiming and shooting, it's got that style of game mechanic when it comes to how you essentially move and do your thing in the game. When it comes to farming, it has certain aspects that are very similar to a lot of farm sims like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, but there are a lot of automated aspects to that farming process too, like when you get water from the well or water the plants. Being a roguelite game, it is expected to be a game where you go so far, die, come back, repeat. So it's got a rinse and repeat aspect to the game where you are either polishing your skills so that you can get further in the game, or getting achievements that you can unlock that will give your character a small boost at the start of your next run, so you can hopefully kind of propel yourself further off that little boost or multiple boosts that you've acquired over time. You can get special items, but at the end of each run, you do lose all those special items. So as soon as you start the game, you pretty much are smack bang in the middle of your farm. Away you go. You can start farming, you can start exploring. As it is daytime, your farm is relatively safe. And then when you are pretty much done with the day cycle and you come to dusk, you've got to quickly rush back to your base and defend it, because all the monsters come out then to attack your crops. So the aim of the game is to get as far as possible, quantifying how you've done that by either cashews as a bit of a high score, or either years, which happen in cycles throughout the game. Regarding the user interface, we have heartbeats at the top left of the screen, which is essentially your health. Underneath that, you have cashews, which is your currency. Just below that, so right on the left of the screen, you have your plantables, like seeds and saplings. On the bottom, you have usable items, so water and pickaxes, which allow you to expand your tillable land. On the top right, you have your way to tell the time and watch the day-night cycles, so it's your day-night tracking system. On the right of the screen, you have usable items that you can also scroll through. And then on the bottom right, you also have your special item or special summon, which is a tractor. So there are various types of tractors in this game which you can use. They're like a special skill. Audio. So with the music and sound effects in this game, guys. Musically, I think this game did a really good job. They have their own dedicated soundtrack to this game with music that has been clearly designed to be super quirky and very unique. The music is very hard to explain. It uses a lot of different instruments, sounds, humming, like non-word based vocals, all this weird stuff to give this really goofy, quirky, silly kind of music vibe that actually sounds really good. So I think they hit the nail on the head when it came to music. In regards to sound effects, it's pretty straightforward from what you would expect with the graphics and the way this game is, being a bullet hell. You're shooting things, you're hearing things die and pop and burst and squish and bang and all of that kind of stuff. And they didn't miss a beat with making sure that they added good sound effects to all of those actions and situations. In regards to voice acting, this isn't a game with voice acting. A lot of these types of games don't really have that, so there's no real comment that can be made there. Character and level design. So with the character that you play as, you start off as one character, but can unlock several other characters based on achieving requirements through a run. Each of these characters have different skill traits, allowing you to have different experiences with your run. With the NPCs or non-playable characters in the game, they're really only as deep and detailed as they need to be to serve the purpose that they have in the game. So the shopkeepers will be just standing there giving you the availability of what they have to sell, be it seeds or weapons or so on and so forth. There is the mayor who is up north of the town who pretty much rewards you based on how well you've done over the season, based on how many cashews you've managed to acquire through your farming. And to your right, you have characters that you can actually flirt with. Yes, flirt with. So it's got a dating sim kind of component there, guys. You can grow and harvest roses, and with these roses, you can give it to them, which when you do, which is flirting, you actually get a type of skill or perk gained off them. And if you do it enough, you can actually marry them. And if you marry them, they join you on your farm, either helping with farm duties or even helping you defend against monsters. So as far as level design, you are situated on your farm, which is right in the middle of what seems to be a large grid of blocks of land. If you go left or right, or if you unlock the bridges up or down, you go to these blocks of land which are stylized by the seasons: summer, autumn, winter, or spring. On these blocks of land, you will find monsters roaming around, which you can shoot them up and collect their guts, which you can use as fertilizer. But you also find packs of them huddling around objects, or maybe little cute squirrels that you've got to save, that if you do defeat them, you get what the squirrel is holding, or basically you get an option between two items, as well as other little situations similar to that. Each land seems pretty similar in nature. They've just got a different style of monsters and also a different style of biome because it's a different season. Once you've exhausted all the monsters and also all the gettable and gatherable items, you have to then pay to fix a bridge using your cashews, and then you can unlock another area and explore that area next. When it comes to the difficulty in this game, guys, it's very similar to a lot of other bullet hell kind of games, where it starts off pretty easy and then it gradually gets harder as you progress through the run. There is no easy, medium, hard option for this game. It's just got that linear progression of difficulty as you've seen in a lot of other games like Enter the Gungeon and those style of games. Regarding multiplayer, guys, sadly there is no multiplayer just yet. Hopefully in the future there will be a patch or a DLC that includes this, because I can definitely see this being the type of game that you'd love to play with other people, defending a farm, going out, exploring, gathering, having a good old time, maybe on Discord, having a chat while you're doing so, or something along those lines. So hopefully they do release a multiplayer component down the track relatively soon. So guys, the moment of truth. My overall summary and rating of Atomicrops. So guys, what do you think I gave it? I'll give you a second, have a think, even pop it down in the comment sections below. See if you're right. Okay. The score I gave Atomicrops is a 7.5 out of 10. Now, I know for some who have played Atomicrops or who have seen the ratings online, that might not correlate with what other people have said. I think it's got a rating of like 8 or 9 on Steam. That's the thing, is that sometimes people's opinions may differ based off the experience that they had first playing the game. I streamed this game for my first experience, which I played it for 2 hours, and in all honesty, guys, I found that I just didn't have the experience that I was hoping for, and I did have high hopes, so maybe that was a bit of a problem. High expectations coming into this game. So when looking at the pros of the game, guys, I think it's a visually great looking game. Sound-wise, it's pretty awesome. The soundtrack is fantastic, and the sound effects are great. In terms of the mechanics even, I think it's pretty damn good for most of it, and the genre, and the idea, and a lot of it. But my issue comes with the areas of, so these are essentially the cons. I didn't feel like, for me at least, that it explained enough of lots of little different things at the start. Now, I might have just missed that, but from what I could tell, I didn't even know it was called cashews. When I was streaming, I called them golden beans for half the damn stream. Probably more than half. I earned 6 beans. Wow, that was lame. Oh, I've got a piggy. Oh, it's 500 beans. Wow. That's 50 beans. I'm on 80 beans. 75 beanaroonies. What have we got? 204, guys. Beans for days of beans. There's 110 beans. So I think that might actually be beans. 465 beans. I made so many beans. Or beans, sorry. 407 beans from 1,910 beans. Only made 140 beans. How pathetic. As well as that, I felt that once you kind of saw a good portion of the game, maybe done a boss or two, you kind of got the gist of what the game was about. And I felt like I kind of felt like I wasn't going to get anything else from the game. I felt a little bit like, oh, okay, now what? And I hate feeling like that when it comes to a good roguelite. You know, I've played all kinds of different roguelites, guys. Hades, Rogue Legacy, Undermine, all of those kinds of games for me felt like they hooked me in and I wanted to keep going and digging and going and digging and going and digging. But I just didn't really get that with Atomicrops, guys. Even Enter the Gungeon seemed to pull me in just that little bit more. Having the multiplayer component helped a lot because I did play that with friends. But the thing is, I just didn't feel like Atomicrops had enough pull, hook, and depth for me to really feel like I want to come back and play more. After the 2-hour stream, I was pretty content with my experience of the game. But yeah, Atomicrops. If you haven't played the game, it's not too bad. I enjoy it. It just feels like as time goes on, you kind of start getting a bit like, it's a bit repetitive, I'm not getting enough happening at once. I didn't really feel like there was enough happening for me. The shops were very shallow. The inflation that was happening with the cashews made it so that I was kind of just getting excited to buy a really cool weapon, but the price was just getting higher and higher, and the way that I was getting money just, I don't know, I felt like if they gave a larger spread of items in the shop, starting from cheaper ones and more expensive ones, and still inflated it, but just gave that kind of optioning there, it gave the people who were, I guess, slow at starting out, the ability to still get weapons and feel like they were still taking part in the game. That's a really good way to get them to like snuggle in just that little bit more so they want to play that little bit more and do a few more extra runs. When they start getting extra runs in, they start getting better, they start farming better, they start defending better, they start getting more cashews, then they can start working their way up in buying more expensive guns earlier in the game because their ability to get cashews early are good. I hope that makes sense. Another thing I felt was there was just a lot of lacking of interactability, I suppose. Everything was very stiff in nature. Again, every NPC was just a very basic function of either shop, Maya with their weird little giving you bonus at the end of season thing, and then just two characters that were very stagnant to flirt with to gain abilities until you married them and then brought them onto your farm. I also felt that there was just not enough happening after maybe an hour or two. I felt like you pretty much got the gist. All the maps looked the same. The play style felt pretty much the same. You're just going out, shooting up monsters, coming back farming. Going out, shooting up monsters, coming back farming. Maybe getting a couple items along the way, going back to town, and then rinse and repeat. For me, I guess I saw this pattern really early, and in other roguelites, I've saw that pattern too, but I just guess there was something a little bit more hooky, a little bit more charm involved in their mechanics that got me going for a lot longer. But with this one, sadly enough, I just couldn't catch the atomic bug, the Atomicrops bug, and feel like going, deep into the game. So, if you are an Atomicrops lover, please be gentle. I am sorry that it's not what you may have wanted to hear from me. Don't get me wrong, 7.5 out of 10 might sound a bit for some people, but honestly, it's a pretty good score. It might not be the 8 or 9 or 10 that some people were hoping for, but still, anything above a 7 still play worthy. I'd recommend playing it and seeing how you go. If you were interested in grabbing a copy, guys, feel free to jump on Steam and grab it for $14.99 US or $21.50 Australian, or pop it on your wish list and wait for it to go on special and you'll get that notification so you can snap it up. But look guys, honestly, feel free to give it a go. Let me know what you think of Atomicrops in the comments below. And I'd love to see your thoughts. Also, if you haven't yet, guys, please hit subscribe and hit the notification button if you would like to see more of this content and support my channel. If you do like this video, remember to hit the like button, as it would be very appreciated to help move this up the algorithm and in people's faces so they can see more of these kinds of videos, and hopefully it gives me the ability to make more videos. Okay, and that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. If you'd love to see more content of mine, feel free to jump on either my YouTube channel, or you can see me doing live streams such as this game that I did here, doing a 2-hour live stream of new games or of other games that I feel like playing on my Twitch, Facebook, or also YouTube channel. So, again guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay sexy, and keep on gaming. See you later, guys.